I think you need to make a poll, uh, and see what the viewers think.
Yeah. Hey, Sarah, how's it going? My name is Niger Chambers of Big Belt Media, and it's a pleasure to talk to you about your 2 episodes of season 3 of Upload, which are episodes 7 and 8, Upload Day and Fresh in Blood. How are you doing today?
Good, thanks.
Good, good. I guess my first question, and one, I just blown away that to think one person could truly have been involved in so many of my favorite series. And this list just goes on and on and on. But I'll give a few here, as I am currently watching For All Mankind, The
Excellent.
Boys, 911, which is literally one of my favorite shows, like bar none. I like it so much I don't even review it because I just enjoy it, consume it, kick back, and just love it. And that's just what it is. All my friends know it. Obviously, the iconic Law and Order, and as I mentioned, like the list just goes on and on and on. And obviously, Upload is in this conversation. When you think about your career from acting, didn't even mention any of your editing work, but
Mhm.
to directing, and then now landing on this project, how do you kind of reflect back onto it to this moment?
No, I just feel very fortunate. There's so many parts of this job that are fun and that are creative, um and to have done, had my hand in different sides of it has been really, really, both just an amazing experience, and also I think has helped me. The acting has helped me be a better director, and the editing's helped me be a better director. So, working on a lot of shows that have action and visual effects, as an editor is extraordinarily important to know what you need, to tell the story and to tell it well. And then also just knowing that part of the process that's after production, the post-production process, especially with regard to visual effects, is really important to give it your best foot forward while you're filming it. Because
Yeah.
there's a lot of mistakes that you can make it much harder. It's still possible to fix it in post, quote unquote, but it's great when you don't have to, when you just have to simply continue it in post and augment it in post, but not actually fix problems.
Well said. I'm sure a lot of folks are going to really accept that knowledge right there. I also, and just to tip my hat to all of the directors I spoke to this season, writers as well, and just a fantastic cast. Just a phenomenal season. We will talk about the season, but knowing that you were going to be a part of the season and you get to bring it home by welding episodes 7 and 8, which I also again want to tip the hat to the writers and directors because the continuity across the whole season, it just seems like you all were just collectively in one room and y'all all knew your task and you all said, okay, got it, run off and did it. And I know it's probably not as sort of done in that order, but it just felt very home that everybody was just on the same page. But knowing that you had the 2 final episodes, does that change your approach at all? Or sort of how do you tackle knowing that not only do you have the responsibility of closing the season, but you truly get to tell your story across 2 episodes here?
Yeah, I mean, having a block is really helpful, like you say, across 2 episodes. But I don't know. I mean, I think each script is asks you to do different things, no matter whether it's the beginning of a season or the smack in the middle. I had a wonderful episode of The Boys, episode 6, season 2, and it was just in the middle, but it was still like epic and crazy and awesome. So you can have a great episode that's squarely in the middle of a season as well.
Yeah.
But in the finale, the biggest difference is that the stakes are usually quite high, and things are coming to either an end or a purposeful, cliffhanger. And so there is a heightened scrutiny of what you're doing. There's a heightened expectation.
Yeah.
And also, it really helps for you to have watched as much as you can of the footage beforehand. So it makes for a fair amount more homework. You have to, watch. I do, and you don't have to anyway. I watch dailies. I obviously read all the scripts. I try to be as up on what has happened before me as I can be, so
Yeah.
that I'm making the right, comments, adjustments, suggestions, so that, like you say, we can seamlessly continue a story. And then, the script will just tell you what it needs. So when I looked at the script, I said, okay, there's a big climax in 7, there's a big climax in 8, there's a lot of action, there's a lot of stunts. It goes without saying there's going to be a lot of visual effects in this show. But so we really had to plan it out properly and have all of the right pre-production meetings. And I'd storyboard a fair amount too. A lot of talk with the DP. Luckily, on this show, the DPs stagger, so you can prepare with your DP, which is wonderful. And so, it was really helpful.
Yeah. And now, so I just want to give a shout out to the writers of these episodes. So for episode 7, we have Maxwell Theodore Vivian, and then the finale done by the great and iconic Greg Daniels. And I really do say this very much exaggerating, but it's some truth to it. I try to avoid writers and directors from This Is Us because I just know that like I gotta have the tissue box ready. And I was very much wondering how would we really invoke that emotional trigger that shows like that invoke from an episode to episode basis, which I know that obviously you have the capability of bringing that to an episode, and certainly you execute it, because a character that I've been lobbying for all the way into this point is Ingrid, and Allegra has just been fantastic. And I keep an eye out to either comments on my reviews or just social media about how folks think about Ingrid, and she's been slapped with a lot of different labels, but we finally, if you're not sold at this point, you finally truly see just the internal struggles, and you feel bad for her. But then you have a moment of just grace, because she talked about not really feeling like she was enough and not feeling brave, but then she gets in the courtroom and she does what she does, and she starts to start to accept which truly is that she does deserve love. And even the moment her and Nora have together, which I thought was just another emotional triggering moment of episode 8, really beautiful as well. But for you, I want to know, working with Allegra, seeing this character arc with Ingrid, and really bringing us to, I feel collectively, a good and happy spot with this character finally. What was sort of just your thoughts about working with her and getting to this point?
Allegra is so tapped into this character, and she is such a delight, and she's also just really lovely. And so it makes sense that you're going to grow to like Ingrid more, the more that Allegra can be shining through. And also Ingrid, she has a chance to do a do-over, right? Given that she's now with backup Nathan, and that affects her in real life as well as at the Lakeview scenes, in Avatar. I loved that part of this whole season, and not just in my episodes, but that you see at first she's just trying, right? At first it's just a haircut, or what do I order for food? But then it's legit, it becomes sincere, and she really does, while still keeping her essence. She doesn't completely do a 180, but she evolves, and in a really lovely way. So it'll be really interesting to see her journey in the next season, especially once we find out which of the Nathans has survived, because that's going to be a huge issue for both of them, but for both of the women, but certainly for one of them more than the other, depending on who has the loss of their significant other, right?
Yeah, very much true. And I actually was going to kind of close with that question, but since we're here, I'll ask you, if you had to kind of think forward to season 4, which Nathan surviving you think makes the most sense? And I went back and watched this very carefully, and the Nathan on screen has a black shirt. I think Nora's Nathan had plaid, and Ingrid's Nathan had like tan or green. I can't remember at this point. So one, I thought that was just amazing, because obviously it's not just a cliffhanger, but it's supremely a cliffhanger now, because there's not even really no clues that can even leave us a trail to think one way or the other. But for you, and I'll say, speakingly as a fan, which Nathan you think makes more sense to have been the surviving
I
one?
think you need to make a poll, and see what the viewers think. I think that each one has the opportunity for some really rich scenes to unfold. So I don't know that I have a horse in that race. And either way, it'll be played by Robbie. So we know we're going to get Robbie back. So there's no loss there. I don't have an opinion, honestly. I think that I guess my opinion may be this has nothing to do with the drama, but my opinion is that the Nathan who is the backup Nathan continues to have some of those hilarious and maybe slightly superficial qualities to that Nathan has always had, where he cares a lot about his hair and his looks and stuff. And I think the download Nathan has had to have a bit more reality check to his experience, right? Like, what is the real world like? Oh God, the real world's still kind of a mess. Yeah. So I guess I would have to say, if I had to choose which one I might want to date, I might prefer the download Nathan, but that's different from who's gonna, take us to season 4 with the best drama and comedy. And that is way above my pay grade. We'll just have to see what happens.
Beautiful answer here. Hey, since you say you're down with download Nathan, what's your thoughts about Montreal? Your sights are set there.
Montreal is a lovely place. I perhaps side with Nora that it's a little random.
Yeah, I went and checked it. I was like, I know Robbie is Canadian, but I was like, I don't think he's from Montreal. I was like, oh, he's from Toronto. I was like, yeah, okay, no, there's really no connection there. I really can't wait to see season 4. Like, what's the significance of Montreal? Because the way he was lobbying for it, I was like, I've never been, but it has to be a wonderful place. But Nora's clearly, everybody else is like, wait, he's definitely very hyped about this for whatever reason, but I don't know. I guess
I thought of it as like Bugs Bunny always talks about Albuquerque.
Yes.
So it's Albuquerque. I don't know.
And I'll just quickly answer that. Nora was able to, shall I say, win for 3 seasons with her significant other. I want to see Ingrid get a win finally, and it was beautiful to see her have her moment. So I don't want the rug to be pulled from under her again. It's just not right. She's been through so much this season. We don't need her to go into the next season with just more heartbreak. It's no. We have to talk about Luke. Kevin has just really just been on another level this season, and we get Luke not only getting the kiss from Alicia, which that was a special moment. He also get the best man invitation. So he's like, yes, I'm getting both of the things I really want. I want to be really close to Nathan. And then Alicia's finally showing me something of emotion that it's kind of rare that she ever does. She's kind of cold with him at times, friendly but cold. I want to ask first about really quickly the which I'm calling the improv scene, the show skit. How did you kind of work with Kevin in this? It was just fantastic, hilarious. But how did you kind of work with Kevin in bringing that scene to life?
Oh, he's so funny. He just cracks me up all the time, and he just goes for it. He turns everything to an 11, and and sometimes an 11 is 1 digit too many, but sometimes it's delicious. And so it's almost just like you just stay out of his way, just let him have fun. I loved some of it. Some of it was improv, and some of it was absolutely written. But he takes it to a place which is character based, which I think is what's great about the best improv. Is it's he knows his character's backstory. So I've got no legs, and he takes off his jeans. That's hilarious, and then puts on his head. Some of the beats are written, but some of them he found himself.
Yeah.
And then plenty landed up in the cutting room floor because, it was a very long bit that, we just needed just enough to get Alicia to do her crafty spy work.
I've said this before, and I think in my first interview with back in, it might have been season 1. I'm not sure if it was season 2, but I absolutely said this to Greg, like, some way, somehow, we need all of the BTS from these seasons. Like, I need all of the cuts. I know there's just got to be so much, especially with Owen. I mean, geez, this dude, AI man is one of my favorite characters of all time, and Owen is just really, really special. So listen, since we're coming up on time, I want to ask you really quickly, as we see Horizon now rebranding to Beta, which is just hilarious here. as the fans, what should we expect about this? I mean, changes definitely drastic and different. I mean, recently with Twitter to X, which everybody has a lot of opinions on, and we even seen when Facebook went ultimately to Meta, and there was reservations here. I'm coming through this with the same scope of like Horizon has been dear to us, you know, a staple in this show for now 3 seasons, and Beta, which it comes off the tongue so good. But I have my reservations to the max here. What's sort of your thoughts about the rebranding here, and what can we expect, sort of say?
I guess I don't have the answers to the detailed what to expect, but I just share your enjoyment of the, tongue in cheek and all of the ways in which the show alludes to kind of corporate mergers that are absurd. Your Cinnabonpedia or your Intel Oscar Mayer or whatever it is, Oscar Mayer Intel, like, it just pokes fun. It doesn't take itself too seriously. So I think that it makes perfect sense. Horizon got into some hot water and they're going to rebrand. And like, they even say like, this is where we're going to put our liability or whatever. It's very funny. Just spot on social commentary, social satire is what the show does so well.
Awesome. I think I got time for maybe a really quick question. Was I ever wrong to really invest into Alicia relationship with Karina? Was it ever wrong to ever be rooting for that?
I see. You mean, is there something wrong with you?
I mean, like obviously I want Love to win here, but I'm just like, yes, Elisa. Then I'm like, no, Karina, no. So obviously this episode, I'm kind of like, dang, I got food. I feel bad here. But was I ever wrong to go down that sort of journey?
Well, I think Alicia has the same questions for Luke, was, when she's, pacing back and forth and saying, like, this is what's good about her, this is what's bad about her, this is what's good about her, this is what's bad about her. We have the same, maybe the viewers has the same feelings,
Yeah.
You can see what you might like about somebody, but are they the devil? Is it wrong to love the devil? Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Listen, I really truly had enjoyed talking to you. These 2 episodes were just so special. You again have been a part of so many different series and titles that I just thoroughly enjoyed, and your presence on this show just obviously make this entire series just even better. Hopefully we have you back for season 4. But by all means, I know I'll be seeing you around for other projects. So
Thank
Sarah,
you. I appreciate that.
you
That means a lot.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time, Sarah. And again, folks, this is Sarah Boyd, the director of episodes 7 and 8 of Upload Season 3, the finale. And we've got our fingers crossed because we need season 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of these to go to tell more stories here. But thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
Absolutely.